Look at smartphone releases from the last 3 years. We're seeing identical designs, recycled features, and tiny spec bumps packaged as entirely new devices. While actual innovation has stalled, the price tags attached to those devices have steadily crept higher over the last half-decade. Notice how the red line representing flagship prices shoots up, while the blue performance gap line drops toward zero. Right at this intersection sits the POCO X8 Pro, a $20,000 device pushing the exact same speeds as phones costing 5 times as much. But a high synthetic benchmark score on a spec sheet does not guarantee the phone is actually pleasant to use every single day. Replacing a premium phone with a budget device is only a win if the daily experience holds up after the initial novelty wears off. To find out, we must look past marketing hype and run a strict input-to-outcome comparison. What hardware are you getting, and what real-world result does it produce? Figuring out the exact compromises a company made to hit that 20,000 rupee price point is the only reliable way to know if you're buying the right tier of technology. We will start this breakdown with the core hardware. This matrix tracks 4 distinct categories, and we are looking right here at performance and gaming. The input here is a flagship-grade processor paired directly with a highly responsive 120 Hz display. The outcome of that hardware combination is zero lag. You get sustained maximum frame rates in demanding applications like BGMI and Genshin Impact. And after 45 minutes of constant load, the device manages the heat well enough to avoid heavy thermal throttling. It gets warm, but it stays highly capable. The required trade-off for that speed is the physical casing. You get top-tier digital performance, but forfeit the heavy titanium rails and frosted glass backs found on traditional premium devices. Moving over to the battery architecture column, the input consists of an ultra-fast charging protocol feeding into a high-capacity cell. In practice, the outcome is the complete elimination of daily battery anxiety. You can run heavy tasks, stream video, and record without constantly checking the percentage. When you do finally run low, plugging it in for just a few minutes yields enough power for a full day of heavy utility. But to achieve those rapid speeds, your necessary trade-off is an absolute reliance on the manufacturer's proprietary charging brick. You also have to give up premium conveniences entirely. There is no wireless charging coil inside this phone. For users who prioritize raw, sustained utility, the hardware here focuses on pure function over physical prestige, which effectively removes the need for flagship spending. But budget devices always have failure points, and we need to look at the camera system. The input is a high-resolution main sensor that leans heavily on aggressive computational photography algorithms to process the image. In broad daylight, that combination produces exceptional stills. You get sharp details and accurate skin tones that easily punch far above their weight class. At night, the algorithms manage to pull in enough light to create genuinely bright, cinematic shots that rival premium-tier outputs. The critical trade-off is reliability. Without the point-and-shoot consistency of a flagship, you might occasionally have to take 3 photos to guarantee 1 perfect shot. And when it comes to video rendering and stabilization, the final output noticeably lags behind industry leaders like Apple. Then there is the longest-lasting, most frequently ignored factor of all. To afford putting flagship processors in a budget frame, the brand subsidizes the high-end hardware cost through the operating system's built-in revenue model. The immediate financial outcome for you is keeping roughly 80,000 rupees in your bank account right at the point of purchase. The long-term trade-off required to secure those savings is dealing with a messy app drawer full of pre-installed bloatware. You also face a higher probability of encountering random software bugs and UI ads compared to the tightly controlled, zero-maintenance ecosystems of premium devices. You get massive upfront financial savings, but you effectively pay for them over time by navigating daily micro-frictions in the software and camera reliability. The POCO X8 Pro delivers the specific high-end capabilities most users care about: speed, endurance, and daylight photography, while cutting the entry price by thousands. To definitively answer who should and shouldn't buy this device, we can look at this decision tree. The starting node asks, what primary factor dictates your phone upgrade? If you are an optimizer, your path goes straight down the raw speed and battery branch. You spend your screen time on heavy mobile gaming, high-volume media consumption, and you demand absolute battery endurance above everything else. For you, buying a 1 lakh rupee phone is an objectively poor financial decision. The POCO fulfills every one of your core requirements effortlessly. But if you are a premium skeptic, your path goes down the ecosystem and polish branch. You require seamless integration with your other devices, perfectly consistent video recording every time you hit the shutter, and a zero-maintenance software environment. For you, the upfront financial savings will be entirely negated by the frustration of daily software and camera friction. The smartphone market has reached a point where extremely capable hardware is now a commodity. In a market where high-end speed is now widely available, the extra money spent on a flagship goes toward the final layers of software polish and camera consistency. The decision comes down to which of those things